Hi, this is Brooke from the Chattanooga Public Library, and I'm trying to do some of the yoga with Miss Denise on our new Yoga Kids video. Let me try this side. Oh, that's better. Denise Cooper is one of my oldest friends, and she's a certified yoga instructor. She's also taught preschool, kindergarten, first grade, and been the director of a kindergarten. And let me tell you, she is fabulous at yoga. Don't judge her by how I'm doing them, but I want to introduce you to Denise Cooper, our kids yoga teacher for today.
Hi there. We're going to do some yoga. We're going to stretch and relax and move our bodies for about 20 minutes. And we're going to start off stretching our sides by doing windmill. So putting your arms out straight. Let's go this way and this way. Remember, yoga means breath. So as you're moving your arms from side to side, make sure you are taking good inhales through your nose and exhales through your nose. Try to make them long and try to make them even. Two more on each side. You should feel that stretch in your side. Okay. Now for our next pose, we're going to come to our hands and knees. Your hands should be right under your shoulders and your knees should be right under your hips. And we are going to do a lion pose. So I am going to push myself all the way back to so that my bum is on my heels. And then I'm going to come forward and roar. Roar. Go back. Pull yourself forward and roar. Let's do about 5 more of those. Back, forward, roar. Back, forward, roar. Back, forward, roar. Back, forward, roar. This is our last one, so let's make it really nice and loud. Back, forward, roar. Good job. Now, we're going to come to a tree pose. I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to take my right foot and I'm going to put it on my right calf. You can bring it all the way up to your thigh, but what you don't want to do is put it on your knee, because if you were to go the wrong way, it might hurt your knee. So I'm going to try mine on my calf right now, and then I'm going to take my branches, I'm going to grow them up. You might even want to carefully sway a little bit from side to side. And then you can bring your hands to heart center. I like to push into my hands so I feel it stretching my back. And what helps me to stay in one place and not fall over is to look at something that's not moving. Let's take that leg down, shake our hands out, bend our knees a little bit. Take a good inhale and exhale. And now let's take our left foot to our right calf, or if you want, up to your right thigh. Now I'm close to a wall, so I'm getting my balance. I'm making sure I'm looking at something that's not moving. And then I'm going to bring my hands to heart center. Don't forget to breathe. About 5 more breaths. Is it easier on this side? Sometimes it's easier on one side than the other. Okay, take that leg down. Bend your knees, shake your hands. And now we're going to come to one of my favorite poses. And one of the reasons it's my favorite pose is that I have a song to sing with it. So I turn the music off for a minute, and I'm going to sit on my bum, and I'm going to bend my knees and put my feet flat on the floor. And this is a song about a boat. So I am putting my forehead like I'm looking out in the boat. A yogi went to sea to see what he could see. And all that he could see was the bottom of a big blue boat. Now, lift your feet up off the ground, and I'm going to put my hands together and sing a song I bet you know. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Now, stretch out your hands, keep your feet up, and we're going to count backwards from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now fall down on your mat like we're crashing. I usually like to say Titanic. Take a few breaths here. Gently bringing yourself back up to a seated position. Cross your legs. And I'm going to put my hands on my knees, and I'm going to do some seated cat-cows. So I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to come forward. I'm going to drop my head, and come back, and forward. Let's do that 4 more times. Back, forward, back, forward. Might feel good to shake your hands out. And we're going to come into a twist. On my card, they're calling it a pretzel pose. Have you ever eaten a pretzel that's all turned around? Because sometimes they look like a heart. Well, that's what we're going to do with our bodies. And when we twist our insides, it is so good for them. So here are your hands. Let's take your left hand to your right knee, and I'm going to take that right hand to the back, and I'm going to twist my body. Now when I do this, I'm going to look back, turning my head so I feel that twist, but you want to be gentle with your neck. I'm counting backwards in my head from about 15. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now face the front. You might want to shake your legs out, maybe wiggle a little on your bum, maybe a couple of more cat-cows. Now let's take our hands up, look up, reach up, turn toward the left. Take that right hand to your left knee and go into your twist on your second side. Remember to keep those inhales and exhales long and about the same length. Okay, shaking those hands, maybe a couple of more cat-cows. Now we're going to come into what we call flower pose. I've got my knees bent and my heels aren't all the way toward my bum, but they're getting close. And I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to put my right arm under my left knee, under my right knee. Let's do the same side. And now I'm going to take my left arm and put it under my left. And I am going to lift my feet. Now, I'm pushing my shoulder blades toward each other. My feet are clasped together, kind of like prayer hands, but they're prayer feet. And we're going to take 5 really good breaths here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I want you to take your feet out straight. Bring your arms up. Now see, look at my pinkies. I'm going to turn my pinkies toward each other. And then I'm going to come down. I'm going to grab my feet. If you can reach them, if you can't reach your feet, you can place your hands on the middle of your legs, on your shins. And when I'm here, I like to gently sway from one side to the other. Might feel good to drop your chin towards your chest. Anytime we do several yoga poses, I always like to make sure there's a time that we get our feet higher than our heart, because that actually gives our heart a time to rest from its hard work of pumping its blood through our body. We're going to come to a standing position. And I don't know if you know it, but yoga was actually invented a long time ago for some boys who just didn't have anything to do. And so one of the things these boys were going to have to do when they grew up was fight in the army. So they talked a lot about being warriors. And so there are some warrior poses that we can do that will make our legs and arms really strong. The first one we're going to do is called Warrior One. That's why we're doing it first. So we're going to take our right foot in front of us. Our left leg is straight. We're bending our right knee. And then we're going to take our hands up in the air. And I like to look up when I'm in warrior pose. And I like for my pinkies to wave to each other. We're going to hold this. I'm counting to 5 in my head. Now, I'm going to put my hands on my hips, and I'm going to bring that foot back here. I'm going to jiggle my legs a little bit, and then I'm going to look up and reach up and take my left leg to the front. I'm going to bend into that knee. I'm pushing into that foot that's behind me. My pinkies are waving to each other. Don't forget to breathe. Okay, you can bring those arms down. And now we're going to come in to what we call Warrior Two. So I'm going to put my left foot behind me, and my left foot is kind of going sideways. And I'm going to bring my right foot to the front. I'm going to bend that knee. And I'm going to turn my back and stretch out my hands. Now I am looking over my front arm, looking over that middle finger. Warrior Two. Okay, releasing your hands. I like to put my hands on my hip and bring that leg back. Now I'm going to bring my left leg to the front. Turn that right foot so it's even with the back of my mat. Arms out from the side. And again, stretching those arms like you're trying to get those fingers as far apart as you can. Looking over that middle finger. Don't forget to breathe. Okay, you can let those arms loose, shake them a little bit. And I'm going to bring that back foot to the front. And now we're going to do what I think is the hardest yoga pose, not the hardest yoga pose, but the hardest warrior yoga pose, because it takes some balance to do this. I'm going to plant my left foot into my mat, and I'm really putting some pressure on my toes, kind of like I'm trying to grow roots out of that foot into my mat. And then I'm going to take my right foot back, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm just putting my tippy toes on the mat. And I'm going to take my hands, put them together, and I'm going to put my hands at heart center. And I'm going to gently bend forward, almost so that my front is as straight as my mat is on the floor. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be too down. I want to be even. And I'm pushing into those hands, and I'm pushing into that foot that's in front. I'm just letting my toes touch in the back, and then I'm going to lift that leg up into Warrior Three. Now sometimes when I do this, my other foot wobbles. That's okay, it's just getting stronger. Something that really helps me is to look at something that's not moving. So I found a corner in the wood on the floor, and I'm staring just at that. Couple of breaths. If you fall out of it, and just get right back in. See, I felt a little bit uneasy, so I touched my wall and came right back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, let's wiggle our knees, wiggle our arms, get a little movement going. And now we're, of course, going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to put my left foot forward. I'm going to bend that knee, bring my hands to heart center, let my body go forward, lift that leg up. Look at something that's not moving. Oh, yeah, I was glad I had a wall there. Good job. Now, we're going to come down to our mat. I've got my legs straight out. And I'm going to look up and reach up and then forward and grab those toes. I'm going to rock side to side. And I want you to take your feet as wide as you can get them. I'm sitting in a small hall and I've got my feet touching each side of the wall, but I want you to open yours up as much as are comfortable. And then I want you to slowly lay down and take your arms straight out from your shoulders. And breathe. Some people call this star pose. I want you to stay there for a few more breaths. Some people call it star pose because you're stretching yourself out like a great big star. And some people call it pentacle because you have 5 points. 2 hands, 2 feet, 1 head. All adds up to 5. Few more breaths in your pentacle pose. Okay, I want you to gently come back up, and we're going to come into our final resting pose. In yoga, we call that Shavasana. It's kind of like a little yoga mat, not a yoga mat. We're going to have a yoga nap. We're on our mat. So I want you to slowly lay yourself down on your mat. I want you just to let yourself sink in, kind of like you're riding on a raft in the ocean. You're just going to rest and let your breathing be in and out and slow and steady. Here we go. Back down. Feet can be close to each other. I like to turn my palms toward the sky. And I kind of bring my shoulder blades toward each other. And just gently bring yourself up. I'm reaching over to turn off the music we've been listening to because I have a song that I want us to sing together at the end of our yoga practice. And usually at the end of yoga, we say a word called Namaste. And what Namaste means in the ancient language that they used way back when they first invented yoga, it means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light that's in you. I know a little song about Namaste that I'm going to sing with you, and it just will remind us of what that word means. My little light sees your little light. My little light sees your little light. My little light sees your little light. Namaste. Thank you so much for doing some yoga with me today. Keep it up. Yoga is good for your body your whole life through. Thank you. Bye-bye.